After Ralph's death, the lab was disbanded, but in typical Rockefeller fashion, the university was tremendously generous and helpful. Michel Nussenzweig took us under his wing, and we worked hard to find positions for all of the postdocs and graduate students. Everybody went on to their next thing. People were, of course, bereft, but I think everybody more than landed on their feet. The clinical group that I had been leading, I had been the clinical director of Ralph's lab, and I had been working with a remarkably talented group of physicians, nurses, and scientists on all of the aspects of clinical development. And Marina Kasky, who came as Ralph's clinical scholar, and as he liked to say, was the best clinical scholar he ever had, and I were working very closely together. And we worked with Michel. We had already begun working with Michel to bring his antibodies, his highly neutralizing monoclonal antibodies, into the clinic. But that was always intended to be Marina's project and not mine, and she's now leading it brilliantly. I'm so proud of her. She's a remarkable young woman. She and I together in 2011 gave what is now called the Holiday Lecture. Now I think it's now called Talking About Science, but when we gave it was called the Holiday Lecture, which was the lecture that I had attended in 1976. And to say that it was an honor to give that lecture, it was a little bit surreal, but wonderful. I gave that lecture in Ralph's memory. And I worked with Marina and Michel to transition everybody, but all along knowing that I wasn't going to continue to do the clinical development. I gave a lot of thought to what I wanted to do, and I even sought counsel from several people. I was very fortunate in having remarried during that period, and I have yet another son, Jacob. So Ralph's work, Ralph's view was that life was so short, all he wanted to do, I think, was work more. He felt he had so much to do. He really was disappointed that he hadn't cured cancer and created an HIV vaccine that worked. He truly believed that he could do that. We were walking across campus once and he commented that we hadn't done that yet and we better get moving. And to think that one would have the ability to do that is inspiring. But his illness made me realize that we're all mortal and life is short. And it made me, though I'm tremendously devoted to the institution and I don't want to leave and I do want to work, I didn't want to work 6 days a week anymore, or 7 days a week sometimes. And so after much thought and conversation with many insightful advisors here, Mike Young and Tom Sackmar and Michelle, of course, and Jeff, and perhaps most importantly, Dr. Gottschalk. Dr. Gottschalk was in a position where he was getting to a place where he needed to retire, to really retire, not just retire and be chair of the IRB. And I felt, and I think others felt, that my combination of clinical development skills and experience, personal and professional experience with human subjects protection, made me well suited to follow him as chair of the IRB. So let's see, what year was that? It's 2000. In 2017, I took on the chair of the Rockefeller University IRB, which I'm honored to serve in that position. And that same year, Harriet Rabb helped me to join the board of the Hastings Center, which is a freestanding bioethics center. And I work very passionately on human subjects protection and bioethics. I still, in my role as chair of the IRB, get to see all of the research that goes into humans here and review it carefully and thoroughly, and that's a great honor. And I'm watching the vaccines that we worked on move forward, and Ralph's concept of immune therapy, the idea that one could modulate immunity, is now the hottest thing, as he would say, since sliced bread. It has taken off. His dear friend Jim Allison was awarded the Nobel Prize last year for that work, and I guess probably millions of lives are being saved.